Hey, it's Cobra here at MaddenGuides.com, and for this Madden Tips video breakdown, we're going to take a look at reading man or zone coverage pre-snap. And what this is going to be about is about a video that's going to show how to read coverages if it's man or zone before the snap. And keep in mind, I did this video last year, and I had a request to go ahead and show it again. I want to go ahead and get into it. But I do want you guys to understand one thing. This does not mean that it works on every single offensive formation. It's going to tell you magically if it's man or zone coverage. What you're going to have to do is go into the lab, and you're going to have to lab it for yourself to see if that particular formation is going to show if it's man or zone coverage. Now, I will show you kind of the concept or the basics behind it, and hopefully that'll give you a chance to get into the lab yourself and find your favorite formations that you like to run and see what you guys can find based on the alignment of the defensive backs or whatever I'm about to show you guys here. So let's go ahead and get on the field here, and I'll go ahead and show you the formation that we're going to run. We're actually going to do two different formations here, and we're going to start off out of the Packers playbook. So let's go ahead and get in there and take a look at it. And the first one we're going to show here is out of the Packers playbook. On the offensive side of the ball is the Devils halfback weak out of the gun formation. I want to show that one, and we're going to match it up with the nickel 3-3-5 will. So if you're following along, just go ahead and do that if you want to. But like I said, keep in mind, after you watch this video, I highly suggest you get into the lab and do this yourself, the exact same thing I'm about to show. So let's go ahead and get on here and take a look at it. So what we're going to start off here with, let's just go ahead and start off with the basic coverage. It's cover 3 sky coverage out of the nickel 3-3-5 will. And on the offensive side of the ball, I'm just going to pick slants. It doesn't really matter what play you pick because all this is going to show you the same. Now, as you look at it, the receiver that I want to focus in on as far as with how I'm able to read as far as with this particular formation is this receiver lined up over here as you look at him. So it's going to be this receiver lined up right here, and he's going to be on the outside on the left as you look at it. So what we're going to do is, you notice right now he's running a slant route. What I'm going to tell you guys to do is to go ahead and hot route him on a streak. And that's basically what I do if I want to read this coverage before the snap, at least with this particular formation. So what I want to do now is I'm going to go ahead and zoom in because I want to show you guys this. And then we're going to work our way, through the breakdown, and hopefully it'll give you guys an example of how this works. So what you guys see right now, remember, this is a zone defense. Now I want you guys to look at this line right here. This is the route, and it runs in between the legs of the corner right there, as you can see. Now this is a zone defense. Now keep in mind that. So let's go ahead and audible into a man defense. Here we're just going to go into the Overstorm Brave. So let's go ahead and do that. Now, if you were watching there, you would have saw that he shifted to the inside there. See now, look how he's lined up as you look at it. That's going to tell you that it's man coverage. The general rule of thumb is if he's inside of the line, it's probably going to be man. If he's straddling the line or if he's outside the line, then it's probably going to be zone in most cases. So there you go with that. So now you can see that that is a man and a zone read right there. So right now you can tell that we're going to be in man coverage. Now let's go ahead and do this. I want to show this because I did this earlier before I got into the breakdown. I'm going to go ahead and zoom back in. Now this isn't live. This is an actual image that I recorded, actually took earlier so I could actually show you guys this breakdown a little bit more. So let's go ahead and zoom back in. As you look at it, I transparent one of the images, so they're basically shows both images, but one's transparent so you can actually see it. This guy right here is the one we're talking about, the corner. Look how he's lined up there. That's zone. Here he's lined up to the inside. That's man. So right there you can tell right off the bat that he's in zone. There he's in man. So that's one of the tip-offs that you'll be able to tell if it's man or zone coverage. Also, if you go down here, this might be something you might look at. The slot receiver, again, the guy's on the outside, be zone coverage right there. To the inside of the slot receiver, man coverage. All right, so that's something else you can look at if you want to look at it that way without even having the hot route. So let's kind of look at that. All right, if you go over here to the right side, let's go over to the right side and take a look. Now keep in mind, I did not hot route those other two receivers, the slot, nor did I hot route this receiver. We're going to go over here to the right side of your screen here and look at it. And again, if you look at it, there's zone playing to the outside, here playing to the inside man. So that's going to kind of give you an idea if it's man or zone coverage based on how those guys align. What if they, let's go ahead back going into live here, go back into the live thing here. What if they decide to audible into a man defense and say they want to go into cover 2? Okay, let's take a look at that. And let's go ahead and zoom in again and take a look at this because I want to show you guys this. All right, so here we go. You can see he's lined up to the inside of the line. This is man, cover 2 man press. You can see that he's lined up to the inside. What if they audible into, like, say, Tampa 2? Okay, here we go again, same thing. If you look at look at the art that I'm showing you, let's go back into it again. You can see he's lined up to the outside of the line. He's also lined up a few yards off the line of scrimmage. But what if they go ahead and call press coverage out of the Tampa 2? Remember, this is still zone defense. And then if you go back and zoom in again, look at him here. He's lined up to the outside here. Now, take something over here on the note of this. He's lined up to the outside, but over here, this defender is lined up a little bit further inside. So that's why I said on this one, this isn't always going to tell you if it's man or zone coverage. This over here, what I'm showing over here, will show you most of the time if it's man or zone coverage. So I would suggest really looking at that outside receiver. That's really, really going to give you the best option of reading it as far as if it's a man or zone coverage. So I want you guys to understand that as you guys go in here. And as I said before, and I'll say it again, make sure you lab this and lab your favorite formations and doing exactly what I'm doing. Just audible to different within the formation and just audible into different coverages and see what happens with it. So that's a good example there. All right, what I want to do here is I'm going to go ahead and punt the ball here because I want to go into I'm just going to throw the ball real quick. I want to go into the Bears playbook here and flip it and show you another formation from the Bears formation. That'll give you another, which is another one of my favorite formations that I like to run when I'm under center. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to go ahead and punt it away just so you guys can see this. Let's call any play. It doesn't really matter. And then we're going to come back here and we're just going to go ahead and look at it. I don't care if it gets all thrown out of there. I don't care where it goes. All right, so there's the kick. Out of bounds, whatever. So what we want to do here with the Bears playbook is I want to go into the single back. Let's go into the single back ace formation here. So here's a single back ace. We're going to call the quick slants. This time we're going to call a 3-4 cover 3 sky defense here. All right. So let's go ahead and hot route. Let's go ahead and hot route the receiver here. Okay, and see what happens here and what we get out of results we get out of here. So again, if you go ahead and zoom in, this is a zone coverage. Remember that. We're in the zone coverage here. If you zoom in, you're going to see that he's to the outside of the line. Again, he's outside of the line, so that tells you it's zone. But what if he audibles, or you audible, whoever audibles, and they can tell. So say your opponent audibles into cover 2 man, he goes to the inside. All right, you can see right there, he's to the inside right there as you're looking at your screen right there. Let's go ahead and zoom in again. And now he's to the inside. This should probably tell you that it's cover 2 man. Let's go ahead and audible again. Let's go ahead and audible out of this into this Tampa 2 defense and go ahead and press coverage. And you're going to go ahead and zoom in again. It tells you right there it's zone coverage. Let's go back to one last thing that I showed because I kind of skipped this little step here. But if you go back, and we're going to audible back into it again, this is a cover 0 defense, is a blitz. If you look at it, he's right there. He's lined up right there. So he's lined up to the inside of the line. Tells you it's man defense. If we audible back into the cover 3 defense, let's audible back to the cover 3 and zoom back in again. Same thing. He's lined up to the outside of the line, or at least straddling it, and that's going to tell you it's zone defense. So at any rate, this is going to tell you a lot right there. We did it from 2 different formations, single back ace and the gun formation that we showed, that you can tell if it's man or zone coverage based on what they do. And we also went through a couple different formations on the defensive side of the ball. So at any rate, I hope that this is something you guys can do in the lab and give yourself a chance to maybe read the defense before the snap as far as if it's man or zone coverage. So hopefully this is something that you guys can use that'll help you guys out. Like I said, I cannot guarantee it's going to be every single formation is going to show this. So what you need to do is get into the lab and find your favorite formations and go through the steps I just showed, and it should reveal if it's man or zone coverage. Hey Madden gamers, if you enjoy this Madden video or any other video, please subscribe to the Madden Guides YouTube channel. And as always, thanks for watching and for your support.